St. Valentine, Bishop and Martyr of Rome, February 14th, martyred AD 270. St. Valentine was a priest in Rome in the reign of the Emperor Claudius II. His good deeds, and especially his generous care of the martyrs, caused him to be widely known. He was brought before the emperor, who asked him why he did not worship the gods. "If you, sire, knew the gift of God," was the reply, "you would abandon the worship of these impure beings, and you and your empire would be happy." One of the judges asked what he thought of Jupiter and Mercury, and Valentine replied that they seemed to have spent their time in low pleasures. The emperor seemed moved by Valentine's eloquence and courage, so that the prefect of the city said to him, "Shall we forsake the religion of our ancestors?" Whereupon Claudius, dreading sedition, gave Valentine up to the prefect, who placed him under the charge of the judge Asterius, whose house became his prison. On entering the house, Valentine, intent not on his own peril, but on saving all he could, prayed that God would make those who were still in the darkness of heathenism know Jesus Christ to be the light of the world. Asterius heard him. "How," he asked, "dost thou say that Jesus Christ is the true light?" "Not only the true light," replied Valentine, "but the only light, who lighteth every man that cometh into the world." "If this be so," said Asterius, "I will now test it. I have a little adopted daughter who has been blind for 2 years. If you can restore her sight, I will believe that Jesus Christ is the light and is God, and I will do all thou sayest." Then they brought the young girl to Valentine, and he laid his hands on her eyes and said, "Lord Jesus Christ, who art the true light, enlighten this thy servant." At these words the child received sight, and Asterius and his wife threw themselves at the feet of Valentine and entreated him, since through him they had attained to the knowledge of Jesus Christ, to tell them what they must do to be saved. He commanded them to break all their idols into pieces, to fast 3 days, to forgive all who had injured them, and then to be baptized. Asterius did all this, set free all the Christians in his keeping, and was baptized with all his household of 46 persons. These new Christians almost immediately proved their faith by martyrdom, and soon Valentine, their father and master, after being thrown into a dungeon and beaten with rods, followed these his children to Christ. A church was built in his honor near the Ponte Mole in Rome, and the gate now called the Porta del Popolo, near this church, was long called after the martyr, the Gate of Valentine. He is regarded as the patron of young girls, and a pagan festival to Juno for boys and girls occurring about the time of his martyrdom was intended to be transformed through his patronage and was called by his name St. Valentine's Day.